Welcome to the game.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Game Room. I'm Sean. Welcome and thank you for joining us. We are in the middle of a heavy Gear Blitz. If you've watched the unboxing and you've seen how to build, you know that we have completed building our two factions. There's 24 models in the two-player starter box, plus that huge instruction book that came with it. But now we're going to get our models painted. So I'm starting with Peace River, and let me show you the different tools that I'm going to use, the different paints, and a couple of different things that might help you out as you start your painting journey. If you are an experienced painter, great. Hopefully this will teach you something. If you're new, hopefully this will get you started and show you it's not really that difficult. It takes a little time, a little practice, but that's what my whole painting series is for, is the new people, or you're just trying to get stuff done faster. So if you're new, great. It's a fantastic hobby. It's very relaxing. You'll enjoy it, I hope. Hopefully you'll pick up some tips, and I have a whole bunch of videos out there for all sorts of different games, but Heavy Gear Blitz is what we're working on. Peace River is what we're working on. Let's go to the painting table. Okay, so behind me, and I'll keep a picture behind me, but you'll also see a picture up here periodically of what we're kind of going for. Paper towels. You always want paper towels. Any paper towel will work, doesn't matter. The brushes that I'm going to use for this are, you'll want a very fine one. I don't know what the number is on this offhand. It is a 2-aught, so that I got from Red Grass Games. Any fine brush will work. This is an old beat up Army Painter brush that I tend to use my brushes until they're just total garbage. So I've had this one for a while. You'll recognize it if you watch my other painting videos. It's the same brush. And then I'll use this guy, who I've also been using for years, and he's just my wash brush. We're going to use that in a little while. Here's what we're going to paint. Here's the model we're painting, and here's the end result we're going to try to get to. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about what am I holding and what do I have. You don't need fancy model holders and stuff like that. I mean, there's some of them out there that are great. I have a couple. They come in handy. This is a soda bottle lid with a piece of cork glued on, and believe it or not, glue dots holding on a round base. This happens to be a mantic base, but any round base will do. And then, you guessed it, I stuck glue dots on it and stuck the model on it. See? Just like that. That's how I painted the first two. They don't fall off. In fact, he's not coming off easily. Okay, so it's really handy to help keep your models in place while you paint. And even if you get paint down on the glue dot, who cares? As you can tell by this one. Okay, so we have our model to paint. We know what we're looking for. What colors am I using? So these guys were all based in plate mail metal from Army Painter. They have a spray paint, 100% match. It's really good. That's what he's used for. But I also have this just in case. If you have any mistakes or you need to touch up anything after your painting, you'll want to have this on hand. But the other colors that I'm using, you can use either speed paint or contrast. I'm using Blood Angels Red for the contrast. If you're using a speed paint, Blood Red is basically the equivalent, and I'll show you that in just a second. I'm also using, for the visor, as you can see here on the visor, I'm using Talisar Blue or High Lord Blue if you're using speed paints. I don't have all the speed paints, so I don't know if they have a black, but I'm using a black Templar. You can use any dark color you want. That I used for, like on this guy, used for that part of the weapon. And he's got the same weapon, so the same thing. I don't know that I'm going to need the black much, but I also used it for the wheels in the back. The wheels in the back go round and, sorry. And so we'll also have wheels back here that we'll want to get to. And then to give it that washed battle look, dark tone. Now this dark tone, we're going to cut it down with water quite a bit, probably 60-40, maybe 50-50. We'll just kind of see when we get there. So those are our colors. That's it. I mean, there's not a ton to these guys. You can go all out, take it up to the next level. You can do some edge highlighting if you want. I'll kind of talk about that in a little bit, but for the most part, this is what we're gonna paint. Because again, I'm trying to get you on the table as fast as possible. So what you see right here is I have a paint palette. It's basically just a piece of paper that's glossy on both sides so it doesn't absorb the paint. I think Citadel puts these out. Their paint palettes are like $15. You get a stack of them. They're handy. If you have a wet palette, great. I'm using contrast paint, so it's a little difficult to transport. That's a different topic. So what do I do here? So to test out the color scheme, you can use a sprue. You don't have to use a model. All I did was I took the sprue that still had a leg attached to it, and I just primed it with my plate mail metal primer. And then on this side, I did the Blood Angels red, and on the other side, I did the blood red from Army Painter. And you can tell the colors are really close. Okay, so the only difference is the metal kind of showed through a little bit here, so it doesn't cover quite as much. But it's a really cool effect on that speed paint. So it showed the metal through on the edges a little more. Contrast kind of held those down. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. You use whatever colors you want. This is what I'm going to do. I did like both of those, but I had already started doing them with the, I decided I was going to go with the contrast red, and so I'm going to do the whole army that way. So, but you can easily get this effect back if you like that, but you only have the contrast paint. Just by a quick dry brush with the plate mail metal over those edges, you can get the same effect. Okay, so let's get to it. Always shake first. I've already shaken these before I got started, and I have been gabbing for 7.5 minutes. So, okay, so with the contrast paint here, I'm going to use this brush since I have a lot of detail to do, and we're going to just start working. So what we want to do is we want to be very careful. Don't overload your brush, but make sure you have enough paint on it. And very carefully, that is what we're going to do. Alright. So anywhere, as you can see in the picture, anywhere you want there to be red, just paint it red. But it's just be very careful with it. That silver base does a couple of things for us. One, these contrast paints really work well over metallic primers, and it also helps give our base of red and a metallic undersheen. But it also, fills the deeper portions of the model from the pictures I looked at were a metallic. They're actually probably more of a gray in the pictures, but I really like the metallic color because they are giant mechs, gears, and I just like that metallic look. And when we wash them down with the dark wash, I really liked the way they came out. So with that, I'm going to, unless I have something else but I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video here so that you don't have to sit here and watch me paint and gab forever. But I'm going to speed this up. I'll turn the music up. Enjoy. And I'll be back when we switch to the next color. So I break in here real quick. When it comes to painting this back part right here, you really best don't try to do it with the tip of your brush. You can do it with the side, because these areas are raised, and you very careful, like you see there. You're really just using the side of your brush to get those difficult lines. And again, we're going to let that dry, and then we'll come back and we'll touch that up with our plate metal. And the same thing with these little side pieces here, the side armor, so that you don't get it down into that groove. Just gently hit it with the side of the brush. Right across his head, I don't know if you can see it, but there's kind of a line which kind of goes like right there. That's just where the head's made. But I'm going to use it instead of painting the entire head red. I'm just going to paint it from that point forward. Okay, with that, the red is basically complete. So I'm going to let that finish drying here for just a moment while we get our black ready. Close that up. Go straight to the black. Now again, I think I only need the black on the wheels on the back. I don't think that there's anything really on here that I want to be black. I'm just going to let the dark wash take care of that for me. But I'm going to get the wheels back here. Alright, now for any touch-ups. So again, our plate mail metal here on your palette. And it's just for any areas that just need to be touched up, like back here. Alright, next step, our dark tone. Now, again, this I'm going to want to cut about 50-50 with water. So let's just see how that works. I'm going to use my big brush. So I'm just getting a brush full of water. Now, the dark tone will really darken the model down. That's not really what I'm wanting. I still want to see the colors. I just really want to tone it down just a touch, but really fill in the recesses, which is what this wash will do. Alright, here we go. We'll try it. Back. Make here. This is why we use a big brush, because we're going to go over the entire model with this. Now you do want to make sure the rest of your contrast paints are dry everywhere, but mine appear to be. So let's go ahead and give it a wash. Now if you thinned it out too much, then you can add a little more dark tone. If it's not, this is why we start in a spot in the back that's easy to fix. Then go ahead and add a little bit more water. Now this wash is exactly that. It's going to go over the entire model. Now you don't have to go over the entire model. That's just the way I'm doing it. It really just kind of helps pull the brightness of the silver and the darkness of the red together. All over the areas that you are wanting to wash. If you miss a spot and this dries, it will show up. Not that you have from experience or anything, but yeah, it will show up. And if you get it like too much in one spot, like I have too much there, then just kind of use your brush to knock it off if you don't want that much. Alright, now this one we will have to just let sit and dry, because this is, I mean, it's basically just covered in water, so we need to let it dry thoroughly before we move on to our last step on painting our piece right here. Alright, I'm going to let him dry, and we'll be back in a moment. Alright, with him mostly dry, I'm going to go ahead and do the visor, and for that I'm using the Talisman Blue, or again, High Lord Blue if you were using speed paints. And you just right over here. So, again, fine brush. Put on your brush, but you don't want to and all we're trying to do here is get right into and with that, he's done. Now, like I said before, if you wanted to, kind of take it up to the next notch, you could do some edge highlighting with maybe the silver to just kind of break up this red a little bit, maybe here and here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So a little bit of that silver paint. different options that you've got. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot just to kind of bring them out a little bit more to life. In some of these areas, you just hit the edge just to brighten up just a touch. All I'm doing is just using the side of the brush just to hit those edges. Just to kind of make them pop just a little bit. Again, extra step, up to you if you want to do it. Not necessary. The model already looks pretty good. From a 3-foot distance, who's really going to notice? Red, I know you don't want it. Alright. With that, I'm going to call him completely painted. So, again, with a little bit of the edge highlighting versus not, you can see a little bit of a difference. Does look a little cooler. He looks really awesome. So again, it's up to you. Now, if you have the decals, you can go ahead and put these on. I'm sure there are better ways to do this. There's special fasteners, things like that. I just use water, and then when I'm done, I seal the models with a matte spray. So, but all I'm doing here is I'm just dropping the 2 pieces that I cut out. You want to cut it out. This whole thing is a transfer sheet, so it's not like there's individuals. So you want to cut it out as close as possible to the picture as you can get, and then you just need to let it sit in the water until it separates. And then for me, I like using this brush because it's pretty broad. And like I said, I'm sure somebody can correct me and tell me, hey, no, there's better ways to do this. Great, please let me know what it is. Otherwise, I'll just go with what I know. And while it's still wet, you can move it into position. Okay. And then get the water out of your brush, and then if you just touch it around it, it will help get the water, additional water, and help it set into place. And then for the other one, which is the Peace River emblem, gotta make sure I get this on the right way. And I'm just putting that one right here on the shoulder. Alright, and with that, I'm going to call him done. Now, there are other stickers on, or there's other decals on here. I haven't decided if and which ones I want to use, but there are lots more to choose from if you wish. Now all he needs is a base, and I'll be right. Okay, so with the base done and him done, there you go. So now we've got 3 of our 12 done, and you can kind of see he stands out a little bit from the others with just the little extras we did. Again, these guys look good from 3 feet away. Probably not going to notice the difference, but that's totally up to you how far you want to take it. But anyway, this is a little long video, but again, total painting time was about 25 minutes. I have shortened this video down. I'm going to swap cameras, I'm sorry. I have shortened the video up because you don't want to sit there and watch the paint for 25 minutes, but actual painting time was about 25 minutes. And then, another 10 minutes to put the decals on and put him on his base and whatnot. But anyway, they don't take very long. So again, you've spent an afternoon putting them together, spent another afternoon getting them painted, and you have a force ready to go. Hopefully this has helped. Hopefully this makes your painting life a little easier. They're not difficult. You don't need a ton of colors. We use 3 plus our primer of a metallic silver color that you can prime in whatever color you want. You can do the models however you want. This is how I did mine. I like the Peace River, as you can see behind me. I like that paint scheme. I think it's really good. We're going to do a similar thing with New Coal when we get to those next, except for they'll be blue. But I like those paint schemes. So, but you paint them how you want. They're your models. It's your army. I'm Sean. I'm going to shut up and let you go. Thanks again for watching. I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed it. Please put a comment down below. Like, subscribe. It really helps. Something to do with YouTube algorithms. The more likes, the more subscribers, the more stuff shows up. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for DreamPod 9 for supplying the 2-player starter set. Really appreciate it. And if you're watching this before October 2nd, 2022, go to their website. Check it out. They have a discount going on right now. It's not major. It's like 10%, but the models are a good price anyway. Still looking at you, Black Talon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Bye now.